So when I got in that car to drive down to Jacksonville for my drill, I called Carter's dad. I was like, hey, I'm about to drive through the city. Is it okay if I like spend a little time with Carter before, I head to Jacksonville? And he was just like, no, Carter's at daycare and you can't take him from daycare. I was like, well, I just wanted to see him before I go to Jacksonville. Like, can I just spend a few hours with him? Like, if I could just pick him up for just a little bit, and then I'll take him right back to the daycare because I got to go to Jacksonville anyway. So I'm not staying in the city. Like, I got to go to Jacksonville anyway. So I just want to spend a little time with him because it's been a couple of months since I've seen him. Because at this time, it's February of 2020, and I haven't seen Carter since November 18th of 2019. So it had been a little while. Been a couple of months. He was just like, no, you cannot take him from daycare. And I'm just like, well, all right, whatever. Hung up. Got to the city, ended up calling my best friend Ronnie. And I was like, hey, you at work? He was like, yeah, I'm at work. So I ended up pulling up to the job to see them. They were so happy to see me. I was so happy to see them. So I caught up with them for a little bit. And I was just like, all right, I'm on my way to drill in Jacksonville. I'm like, on my way back through, I'll stop back through when I'm headed back to Maryland. And it's like, okay, so I talked with them for a little bit, joked with them, laughed with them, and then I was off. I ended up going to Carter's daycare. Since his dad told me he was at daycare, he wouldn't let me take him. I'm like, whatever. I just wanted a few hours with him. That's why I came early, but whatever. So I go to Carter's daycare. I walk in and I surprised him. He was so happy to see me. I spent like an hour at the daycare because I was trying not to stay too long because luckily for me, the daycare allowed me to have like my little alone time with him, like in the little book room or either go out to the playground. But I didn't want to, stay too long because, it is a daycare and they do got things to do and, it is other kids there. And I didn't want it to be too much. So I stayed with him for like an hour. And then I ended up going to Jacksonville. When I went to Jacksonville, I got there, checked into my hotel, whatever. And I called Darian, let him know that I hadn't made it, and I was just like, let me speak to Jackson. So he handed the phone to Jackson, and I'm on the phone with Jackson. I'm like, hey, buddy. He was like, hey, Mom. I was like, I just want to let you know I made it to Jacksonville. Like, I'm here. He was like, yay. I'm like, yep. And I was just like, are you by yourself? He was like, yeah, I'm in my room. Because at Pop House, he had his own room. He's like, I'm in my room. I was like, is your door closed? He was like, yeah. He's like, I can close it. And he closed his door. And I was like, wait, where's your dad? He's like, Dad's downstairs in the kitchen. I was like, okay. He closed the door. I was like, guess what? He's like, what? I was like, guess who I saw today? He was like, who? Ronnie? Mr. Ronnie? I was like, yeah, I saw Mr. Ronnie, but I also saw Carter. He was like, shh, 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 shh. I'm like, what? He was like, Dad said we can't say that name in Pop's house. I was like, well, your dad is downstairs in the kitchen and he didn't hear me say that name, but I just wanted to let you know I saw such and such today. And he was just like, Jackson said, what did he say? Did he say anything about me? I was like, yeah, he said that he missed you. And he's like, oh, I missed him too. Tell him I miss him. I miss him too. I said, okay, I'm gonna try to see him again on my way back to Maryland. Like, I'm gonna try to stop by and see him again. And if I can, I'm gonna try to like FaceTime you so that you can see it. He's like, no. You don't have to video me to see him. Like, cause I don't want Dad to get mad. I'm like, your dad's not gonna get mad. He's like, he's gonna get mad because he doesn't like us like saying his name. So I don't want Dad to get mad. So no, you don't have to call me when you get him, but just let him know that I miss him. Just tell him I miss him. I was like, okay, all right, Jackson. I'll let him know. Because up until we moved, Jackson and Carter, they were like kid and play. They were attached at the hip. I literally called them kid and play because, Jackson was the dark skinned one, then Carter was the light skinned one, high top fade. They were kid and play. But they were so close, so close. They were attached at the hip for real, attached at the hip. So to separate them and to see the toll that it was taking on Jackson being separated, because I noticed that Jackson missed Carter. Like I could see that he missed his brothers. I could see it by how he interacted with Kion, how much he missed Carter. Because like I said, they were attached at the hip. They were like this. So after I got off the phone with Jackson, I was just like, let me talk back to your dad. Darian got back on the phone, and he was just like, man, these people pissing me the fuck off. I'm like, who? What happened? He was like my dad and Lovey bitch ass, they pissing me the fuck off. I'm like, what happened? What's going on? He was like, nothing. She just being weird, and my dad is just being weird, following up with her, being all weird. Like she is actually making him change. Like she's making him change. I'm like, what you mean making him change? He's like, I don't know. He just not the same no more. He just not the same. He just do pussy shit now. I'm like, what you mean he do pussy shit now? Like, what are you talking about? He was like, look, they went to the store. She got some stuff that she didn't even need. And my dad know that she didn't need that stuff. But he allowed her to bring that stuff in the house anyway. And now we try to figure out where we're going to put everything, because she like to buy stuff when they on sale. I'm like, but I do that. Like, if I'm in the store and I see something on sale, I'm going to buy it. He's like, but your purchases make sense. Hers don't make sense. It's February, and she went and got stuff for Christmas. Christmas is months from now. And my dad was okay with her getting the stuff for Christmas because it was on sale. I was just like, but I think you thinking too much into it. I think it's kind of cute. He was like, no, she changing my dad, and I don't like that. All right, whatever. So then I started telling him what was going on, what I needed to work on when I get to my command tomorrow about this whole flu shot thing. I'm like, I got to get this whole flu shot thing situated, because I'm like, I went and got the flu shot, because I did. I found the base in Maryland, and I went and got the flu shot, and I got the form with me to show them, like, look, I got the flu shot. Y'all better leave me the fuck alone about this goddamn flu shot. So y'all phone him next day, go to my command, and I'm talking with my command about the flu shot, and they're making it seem like everything is normal, everything is good. They were just like, all right, just send this up, take this to the admin department, let them know that you got it taken care of, and this and that. I'm like, okay. I go to the admin department to get on my form to let them know that I had got the flu shot, even though in my medical file it says I'm allergic to the flu shot, but hey, I got the flu shot, so y'all can leave me alone about the flu shot. So I go to the admin to get on my flu shot paper, and they was just like, oh, they didn't tell you. I'm like, who didn't tell me? He's like, your command didn't talk to you about what's going on with you and them processing you out? I'm like, processing who out? It's like, yeah, you're currently being administratively separated from the Navy. I'm like, why? I got my flu shot. Like why? She's like, well, you haven't been to drill. I'm like, but I'm on my makeup drills right now because I was in the hospital. Like, I was in the hospital and my son was in the NICU. I was like, but I was communicating that with my command. And they was like, well, we don't have anything in our records that show that you were in the hospital, that you was communicating with anybody. So I pulled up my email, because I keep a record. I pulled up my email, and I'm like, look, I'm literally talking to my chain of command about being in the hospital and when I'm gonna get out. And they was telling me about the flu shot, and I was letting them know that I'm allergic to the flu shot, but they was insisting that I get the flu shot. Like, I'm literally showing her the email thread of me talking with my chain of command about my flu shot, about me not being there, about everything that's going on. And she was like, well, we don't have any record of that. And my thing is, I'm just like, look, I've never had any issues with anything regarding the Navy. Like, I had no issues with me doing anything. Like, I always did everything that I need to do as far as my military career. But I had just joined a new command. Like, I had just joined a new command in, it was September of 2019. Prior to that, I had been with the same command for years. Like, for years. NCHB 11, like, they knew me. I was in a cargo unit. And then they switched me in September of 2019 to a security unit for me to do my job, because I was a master at arms in the military. That's the military police officer. So I'm supposed to be in the security unit, but throughout the whole 9 years that I had been in the military, they had me in a cargo unit. So it's like I was driving trucks, the 15 tons, the 25 tons, the Humvees, like the Calamars. Like I was learning how to do all the learning how to operate all the heavy equipment. And I had my license for all the heavy equipment because 9 years I was in a cargo unit. Now they got me in a security unit. I mean, it makes sense because I'm a master at arms. I'm a military police officer. I'm supposed to be in the security unit. But yeah, I was in a different unit. So I joined that unit September of 2019. I found out I was pregnant. Not 2019, September of 2018. I found out that I was pregnant that following year in 2019. So I was still going to drill, but I was only a few months into that command. Like, so they didn't know me like my last command knew me. Like, they didn't know the type of worker I was like my last command knew. So it was just, yeah, that was that. So I was telling her and I was showing her the emails later. I was showing her the emails and everything. And she was just like, okay, well, just send this to me and we'll see what we can do. But right now they're in the process of processing you out. And I'm just like, but that's crazy because of the flu shot? It's not because like I did anything wrong. It's because of the flu shot. She said, but it's non-compliance. Like you weren't coming to your drills and you didn't do the mandated vaccine. I'm like, but I did, and I was communicating. So I'm going back and forth with her. I'm going back and forth. And then she finally told me, like, look, right now there's nothing that I can do. I'm going to just look into it. Just continue on your drill. I'm like, okay. So about I was there for a full 2 weeks. And then they finally got it situated and let me know that there was nothing that they could do, that I was being processed out. Because the paper had already been signed by the higher ups for me to be processed out. So it was like, there's nothing that we can do. I'm just like, what? I was like, so I got to finish out these drills. She's like, no, you can't finish out the drills because we're processing you out. So if you want to go home, you can go home. I'm like, okay. So as soon as she told me that, it was 9 o'clock in the morning when she told me that. And I left. I got in the car and I left. Like, of course, I was crying in the car, mad, trying to figure out like what? Because 9 years in the military and I'm being separated because of the flu shot. And I'm just like, I covered my ass. Like, so I'm on the phone with D and I'm letting him know, like, look, they processing me out. Like, I'm on my way back to Maryland. And I'm just crying because I'm just like, 9 years. He's like, well, is there anything that they could do? Anything they could do? I'm like, well, the admin department said that there's nothing that they could do. He was like, well, maybe you should try to talk to somebody else. And he's like, talk to somebody in your command. You got the emails to show that you was talking to somebody. Talk to somebody in your command. I was just like, okay, all right, I'll see. I'll figure out what I can do. So I whipped the car back around to go back to where my command was to talk to them. And they was just like, well, the best that we could do is give you the contact information for the JAG office at legal and see what they can do. Like, once you're processed out, once you have your form and everything in hand, see what they can do to get you back in. And I'm like, okay, I guess we can do that. All right. So I ended up going to the JAG office and they end up giving me like I ended up going to the legal office and talking with one of the JAG officers, and they ended up giving me all this paperwork that I could fill out and get done to get processed back in, but it won't take effect until after I've already been processed out. Since I was already in the process of being processed out, I had to wait. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I took the forms, got in the car, and went on my way back to Maryland. But before I went to Maryland, of course, I stopped back in the city to see Carter because he was at daycare. I stopped back to see him because I'm still in my uniform. See him. He was so excited to see me. I gave him my little hat, my uniform hat or whatever not. And I was just like, you keep this. Because I had 2 in the car anyway. And they was already processing me out. So I'm just like, when I do get back in, I'm going to get a new hat anyway. So he can keep this. He can keep this one. So I ended up giving him my hat to keep. And then I got back in, I gave him a hug, said my little goodbyes, told him I'm going to call him and I'm going to try to see him later. And I was on my way back to Maryland. When I got back Maryland. As soon as I walk through the door, you can feel the tension in the house.